Hello, this is Group 19 and my name is Ashley. Today my group and I will be presenting the molecule caffeine. Next slide. One of the most widely used psychoactive substances in the entire world, caffeine, is naturally found in fruits, the leaves of certain plants, and cacao and coffee beans. Caffeine is a naturally occurring nervous system stimulant. It stimulates the brain and the central nervous system by activating the noradrenaline neurons and promotes the release of dopamine into the circulatory system. Caffeine is synthesized in more than 60 known plant species and has historically played a part in a myriad of cultures. Next slide. Caffeine was discovered around 2737 BC in Ethiopia by a goat shepherd when they had noticed their goats getting extra excited and more energetic after eating certain plants. These plants contained caffeine. Next slide. Caffeine is naturally found in tea leaves, cacao pods, and coffee beans. Caffeine can be extracted from these items by steeping with hot water or being consumed via grinding and baking. Caffeine can also be synthesized via chemical synthesis and a molecule of urea. When made synthetically, it is of a higher concentration and is absorbed a lot faster into the body. Next, Yasmine will talk about the chemical structure and activity of caffeine.
The chemical structure of caffeine is C8H10N4O2. This structure is similar to a purine. Caffeine is a methylxanthine alkaloid, which is commonly found in high concentrations in tea, coffee, and chocolate. Caffeine has many effects on the human body. It is an adenosine receptor antagonist, meaning that caffeine inhibits adenosine binding, which stops the body from becoming sleepy. And so caffeine produces an overall stimulant effect, which includes jitteriness, increase in heart rate, and high blood pressure. Overconsumption of caffeine can cause many harmful effects. Caffeine is a stimulant, so it has many stimulant drug-like effects, such as caffeine intoxication, overdose, addiction, and withdrawal. Symptoms of caffeine overdose include dizziness, chest pain, headache, irregular heartbeat, dehydration, insomnia, vomiting, hallucinations, and trouble breathing, which signify one should seek medical attention immediately. In the long term, caffeine can have both benefits and consequences. Less than 400 milligrams a day has been linked to benefits such as weight loss, boosted energy levels, and a lower risk in diabetes. The consequences, however, can be cardiovascular problems, anxiety, and heartburn, to name a few. I will now pass it on to my group mate, Uyen.
Parkinson's disease, Parkinson's disease, PD, is the second most common neurodegenerative disorder, affecting approximately 1% of the population older than 60 years. What happened is that in PD, the brain cells that make up dopamine stop working or die. Dopamine is the signaling chemical that coordinates to movement as well as feeling of motivation and reward. The dopamine cells die. When dopamine cells die, PD symptoms emerge. The death of this neuron is still not well understood. Researchers believe that it can be due to the genetic or environmental impact. Caffeine is one of the first compounds to restore both motor and non-motor early symptoms of PD together with its neuroprotective potential. So researchers discovered that drinking coffee with proper amount will reduce the risk of Parkinson's disease up to 30%. However, higher hot coffee consumption is found to be associated with other deleterious behavior that might be positively effective with PD risk. Next slide, please. At least 20 to 25 million families around the world make a living from growing coffee, with an assumption average family size of 5 people, more than 100 million people are dependent on coffee grown. A total of 10.3 million tons of green coffee were harvested worldwide in 2018. So top 5 coffee consuming countries are Finland, Norway, Iceland, Denmark, and Netherlands. The top countries consume tea the most are Turkey, Ireland, UK, Russia, and New Zealand. Next slide, please. Caffeine can affect to plant growth, either slow down or push up the growing process. Research shows that the spent coffee ground contain about 3.6 to 8.09 milligram of caffeine per gram. Coffee ground are highly acidic, so they should be reserved for acidic loving plants such as beans, broccoli, blueberries, and etc. Now we will watch some video, a video.
Caffeine evolved in plants, where it serves a few purposes. In high doses, as it's found in the leaves and seeds of certain species, it's toxic to insects. But when they consume it in lower doses, as it's found in nectar, it can actually help them remember and revisit flowers.
So in summaries, caffeine is a chemical with stimulant effects and used worldwide. It can be found in leaves, seeds of many plants. Caffeine has lots of benefits for humans, such as boost energy, reduce risk of diabetes, weight loss, and it can also prevent or slow down the development process of disease or cancers. Higher caffeine consumption actually negatively impacts to your body, so they recommend 3 cups per day is the best. So the use of caffeine products can also be recycled for many other purposes. The impact on environment, we actually need more caffeine eco-friendly products. And thank you for listening.